have with me my mentor, Dave Dray, representing Two Tall Oaks Training Academy. Dave?
Good morning.
Good morning. And today you're going to discuss with us...
Well, let's start from the beginning. Why Two Tall Oaks?
That's an excellent question to be asking.
I'd been struggling for quite a few years on a good name for the farm. And my father's recent passing put more emphasis on it. He didn't get a chance to understand why we named it Two Tall Oaks. But in the front yard there are two very significant tall oaks, two of the oldest trees in Carroll County, and a few others scattered throughout the farm. So I've always thought something about oaks. But the logic came to me, the two tall oaks, actually not the trees, but my parents. They were the strength and background that made me go down this road. It was my father's instigation in early indoctrination into firearms when I was 5 or 6 years old. My mother definitely appreciated the concept, and that's what it's all about. Two tall oaks for my parents.
That's fantastic. That's nice how you represented your family like that. I'm sure you did them proud.
I hope, and I hope this continues to do that. The other part of this has been a theory I've had for many, many years, or an opinion. I'm very anti-gun registration. No one needs to know what firearm I have or what firearm anybody else has. But conversely to that, it's a safe opinion that a firearm's at least as deadly as an automobile. And nobody has ever complained about the requirement to demonstrate your safe driving and be trained to teach or trained to drive safely before you get your license, and a probationary license for the young. Well, in our emphasis and enthusiasm to protect our rights to bear arms, we've come to the conclusion that as soon as you turn 21 years old, you suddenly gain the knowledge to handle a firearm. Well, I think we deserve, as other gun owners, to know that somebody coming to the range with us knows what they're doing and can safely use that firearm. And so a licensing for firearm use isn't a far stretch. Well, in Ohio, with our Ohio concealed carry law, it is the first step toward that, and I can't argue it. I would think, being that it's the most dangerous way you're ever going to carry a firearm, putting a firearm on your hip or shoulder or wherever you're going to conceal it on your body for your personal protection, you probably should get some training in safe gun handling. That's required by the state. You probably should get some training on how to employ it tactically. Believe it or not, the law does not require that. The law is an emphasis on concealed carry and safe concealed carry. And once again, when you have legislation getting involved with something, it doesn't get exactly what it wanted to do. But it has opened the door and given a great head start. When people take the class here, one of the things you'll find is I'm not a big advocate of people carrying guns. I lived with a firearm on my hip for many years in the military, in law enforcement. And there's very rarely a time that I'm too awful far from a firearm. That being said, if I was going someplace where I thought I really, really, really needed to have a firearm to be safe going there, I usually just didn't go there. And if I had to, the gun went on my hip. And in the past, the Ohio reasonable man law made that actually a legal carry. The big advantage with Ohio concealed weapons carry is that it also provides some benefits in transporting firearms. One, you're going to have to get some safe training. Two, if you're a shooter for any other sport activity and you travel at all, especially interstate, having a concealed carry permit can really save you a lot of grief.
Dave, we've already covered the why Two Tall Oaks. Now what are we doing down here?
Well, what we want to do, first off, is meet all the state requirements and make sure everybody understands their responsibility for their concealed carry. Because right now, the majority of our students are interested in the concealed carry training. The concealed carry training requires 12 hours of classroom. There is a little leeway in ambiguity. They recognize the NRA basic pistol course, but the NRA basic pistol course is only 10 hours. Then you are supposed to flush that out to get to the 12 hours of training. And the NRA requires a minimum of 8 hours classroom and a minimum of 2 hours range. We have the discretion, and depending on whether we're faced with a basic shooter or a more advanced shooter, we may skew that to 10 hours of classroom and 2 hours of range, or vice versa, 8 hours of classroom and 4 hours of range. We want to recognize the needs of our individual students and help them develop their skills the best. There's not one rubber stamp that's going to fit everybody in this case.
You're absolutely right about that, Dave. And thank you for having this review with us. See you again on the range. This was another episode of A.I.M Review. Remember, ignorance is overrated.